Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, November 11th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. We have a lot of important updates to go over from Joe Biden, who said that one of the urgent things that needs to be done is that people need relief right now, and they need to pass a bill right now. And at the end of the video, we're also going to go over how a new $1.4 trillion bill was just announced yesterday, and it has a lot of bipartisan aspects in it, so make sure to stick around until the end for that. But let's get right into the updates. President-elect Joe Biden urged lawmakers yesterday to quickly pass a second stimulus package, saying people and small businesses are in immediate need of federal assistance from Congress. During a press conference yesterday, Joe Biden said that one of the urgent things that needs to be done right now is people need relief immediately. They need relief right now. Small businesses, people who are about to be evicted from their homes because they can't pay their mortgage, unemployment insurance. He says tens of millions of people need government support. He said a failure to provide cash-strapped state and local governments with additional money as well could lead to layoffs of first responders and firefighters, and that is not something that the U.S. economy should have right now. It can lead to a further recession. Things could get worse in the economy. In addition to this, he said that he hopes President Trump at least has the sensitivity and knowledge to know that a lot of people are in real trouble right now, and between now and the time that Joe Biden gets sworn into office, that Trump would pass a bill. The president-elect said that he has been in contact with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and they know his views right now, and he's been communicating with them daily about the status of the second stimulus bill. Next up, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell also came out yesterday and spoke on the second stimulus package as well, and he said how he wants it to be much smaller, much more targeted than what the Democrats currently want. He told reporters on Capitol Hill yesterday on Tuesday that it seems to him that the snag that has hung up negotiations for the last couple of months is still there right now. But ultimately, he said that he doesn't think the current situation demands a multi-trillion-dollar second stimulus bill. McConnell also said that a second stimulus package should resemble the previous plan that Republicans proposed a couple of weeks ago, which was about a $500 billion bill. He says he doesn't think we need to spend trillions of dollars. He thinks more around $500 billion would be adequate for the situation right now. The problem is right now, though, is that President Trump is losing the election. He lost the election, and Democrats fear that even if the House and the Senate come to an agreement, they said right now President Trump, the only reason he would have motivation to pass the bill is if he wanted to run for president again in, let's say, 2024. But if not, there isn't a real motivation for him to go ahead and pass any bill right now that the Senate and House of Representatives would agree on. Next up is top economists came out yesterday and said that a virus vaccine will not result in an instant stimulus boost to the U.S. economy, which still needs greater fiscal support in order to recover from the pandemic and the lost momentum. Even though the markets globally rallied and increased dramatically after Pfizer announced on Monday that their vaccine was 90% effective in preventing the disease among people who had no prior infections, the U.S. economy still needs more stimulus immediately. Carl Tannenbaum, the chief economist at Northern Trust, said that the vaccine news and better than expected U.S. jobs report for the month of October, they are encouraging developments, but that doesn't reduce the need for further economic stimulus moving forward. He explained how on the unemployment front, we still have over 10 million Americans who are collecting some sort of unemployment benefits and don't have a job. And he explained how these people who have lost their jobs and are unemployed will see a much longer track back to employment and back to getting a job, because a lot of the industries that these people worked for either disappeared completely or are really struggling because of the pandemic, and these industries will have a long road to recovery, so these people are going to need to have support for a much longer time. In addition to unemployment, Tannenbaum came out and said that he thinks another element that is a headwind here in the United States is state and local government funding, because their budgets have been in a terrible position because of lost revenue due to the pandemic. So ultimately, he said that's why the U.S. can't depend on a vaccine to solve all of our problems, because ultimately state and local governments need more money. People who are unemployed will need to have continued support over the next couple of months as they're still not going to have jobs. And there's over 10 million people who are unemployed. So while this vaccine news that it's 90% effective is great, they're still going to need to pass more relief immediately. And finally, big news on a new bill. Republicans controlling the Senate unveiled a new government-wide $1.4 trillion spending bill yesterday on Tuesday, which is a largely bipartisan measure, but it does face uncertain odds during this post-election lame duck session in Washington. The GOP drafted measure contains funding for President Donald Trump's border wall and other provisions opposed by Democrats, but top leaders in both parties want to try to mount a drive to enact and pass this spending bill. They need to be able to come to an agreement on it before December 11th, when the current spending for the government runs out. The GOP drafted measure contains funding for President Donald Trump's border wall and other provisions opposed by the Democrats, but top leaders in both parties want to try to come to an agreement on this bill and pass it, because right now the current government spending bill expires on December 11th, and they need to be able to come to an agreement before this date to prevent a government shutdown. One of the large portions of this bill that is bipartisan, however, is a $696 billion fund for the defense budget. So anyways, that's currently what's going on with the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as this new government spending bill. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.